does play in building a better world. Newman Civic Fellows are recommended by college and university presidents to acknowledge motivation and ability in public leadership. Newman Civic Fellow Awards are made in memory of Frank Newman, who dedicated his life to promote opportunity and to strengthen education for active and effective citizenship. As Dr. Newman said, the most important thing an institution does is not to prepare a student for a career, but for a life as a citizen. A few words about Jessica. She will be graduating in less than 2 weeks with an AS in paralegal studies and an AA in pre-law. In addition to working full-time, she has a 3.8 GPA, and she's one of our college's most effective and engaged leaders. Early in her tenure at MDC, she joined the Paralegal Studies Program Society of Law and Community Service. Over a 2-year period, she led countless service projects and rose through the ranks, eventually serving as vice president and then president of the organization. Some of her civic engagement activities include assisting with the preservation of the Miami-Dade County Law Library, serving with the Safe Space Domestic Violence Shelter in the State Attorney's Office, assisting with the United Way campaign and Miami Book Fair International, serving as a board member of the South Florida Paralegal Association, serving with the Everybody Wins South Florida Mentoring Reading Program at Southside Elementary, and serving as a student member of MDC's Paralegal Studies Advisory Board. Then, last year, Jessica was inducted into the National Paralegal Honor Society, and shortly thereafter was one of 6 MDC students chosen by Dr. Padron to participate in the extraordinarily selective Harvard Kennedy School Latino Leadership Initiative in the summer of 2011. While at Harvard, Jessica worked under the leadership of some of the most renowned Harvard academics to gain the skills necessary to develop a civic leadership project in Miami. Upon her return, Jessica and her MDC cohort created a leadership and training initiative for other MDC students called 305 Rise that helps first-time and college students stay in school and earn their degrees. Most recently, just 2 weeks ago, 305 Rise hosted an outstanding 2-day leadership retreat for MDC American Dream Scholar students. We're all so proud of Jessica. I know if Frank Newman were here with us today, he would be too. And I'd like to ask Jessica just to say a few brief words about her life and what this award means for her.
Wow, Jessica, congratulations.
Thank you, Josh, and it's absolutely an honor to be here among you. I am humbled and grateful, I think absolutely Dr. Padron for selecting me for this prestigious award, but also for being a role model and a beacon to the students at Miami-Dade College. Thank you, Josh, for really being a champion. And of course, I want to thank some of my greatest supporters that are here. My boyfriend Daniel. Hello. Without him, none of this is possible. My mentor, Carlos Barresueta. He's helped with the Latino Leadership Initiative and with the 305 Rise program. Also here is Joanne Zeroni from the Center for Community Involvement, and D'Amico Ramos as well. I wanted to give a shout out to them as well, because they've been instrumental in making some of these amazing initiatives possible for me. And of course, we all know that it takes a village, and we can't do it alone. So thank you. So just a little bit about myself. I'm Colombian American. My parents are from Cali. They came to this country. They gave up their dreams. My mom was an artist. Did not complete her education to come out here and have a new chance, a second chance at life. My father grew up very poor. Literally had rocks to play with, no toys, and he came out here for a better opportunity. And so I've always felt that I've inherited their dreams, and I'm sure that a lot of us can understand, coming from an immigrant background, where that stems from. So they've always instilled in me this value for education. The only thing that they could give me is that. Maybe they weren't able to provide me everything I always needed, but they could always encourage me to pursue an education. So at 16 years old, I made a promise to my father that I would complete my education. It was very important for him to do so because he never had a chance to do it. And of course, I was 16, I was very independent, I was very rebellious, I didn't listen, and I went out on my own, and I attempted to attend Colorado State University, where I actually failed very miserably. I didn't have the support, I didn't understand the system. I'm a first-generation college student. And being a high school straight A student, I couldn't believe that I was not doing this right. So ultimately, my mom asked me to come home. She's like, "Come home, mija," and I did. I did, and I enrolled at Miami-Dade because there was a coworker of mine. I was working as an entry-level legal assistant, and I saw him attending school and balancing work, and I thought, wow, if he could do it, so could I. And I did, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made, and it's really completely changed my outlook and my life. So it was my second chance, and I believe in second chances. And this time, I wanted to do it right. I wanted to make my mother proud. I wanted to be a role model for my younger brother, who is entering Miami-Dade this summer, and the MDC Paramedic program. And so one of the other things that really made an impact in my life was getting involved on the campus. It's single-handedly the most important thing students can do, is not feel isolated and understand that they're not alone. So I got involved, and thanks to another mentor of mine who wasn't able to be here today, Tom Wen, he believed in me, believed in my potential, and he invited me to participate in the Harvard Latino Leadership Initiative. He said, "You have to apply for this." And just so as way of background, of the 6 students selected, I'm the one non-traditional, non-honors college student. So I'm very proud to represent my paralegal program, and excuse me, I get a little emotional. So it's really meant a lot to me, the 305 RISE programs that we've been able to develop and implement for first-time college students.
And that's such an important program because we know that students come into college and very often, like yourself, they may be first generation going to college. The pressure, sometimes it seems insurmountable, and not enough of our students complete the program. But as much as we say, we come from a different generation, and it's not the same as if they hear it and get the support from members of the student body and people like yourselves. And so your idea is superb because there's no question that the ability that somebody has who's currently enrolled, who feels that maybe there isn't a second chance. And I believe in second, third, and fourth chances. I don't think it ever really comes, Jessica, but I think that the ability that you provide other students and your colleagues who help you in this is what really makes a supreme difference. Not only are you hardworking, but I think in that sense you're also a visionary, that you can see past today and look far into the future. And that's what really makes a true leader. And on top of that, being intelligent and with a very high GPA and working full time, you also have a heart. And all of the other stuff is great, but without having a heart and without being empathic, it doesn't take us where we really need to go.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Sorry. One last thing that I did want to mention is, as Josh said, I am 1 week and a few days away from graduation.
Yeah.
Right? It's taken me a long time to get here. It's taken me 4 years to complete my education because I do, work full time. But the other day I had the pleasure of calling my father and asking him to be there.
Is he going to be there?
He said,
Oh, great.
so, very excited to be at this moment in my life and really just thanking Miami-Dade for opening these opportunities that wouldn't have been possible. Opportunities that weren't given to my parents. So thank you so much for that. And one last thing I did want to mention is I'm taking this year to campaign. I want to empower young people and help them, instill in them a passion for social justice. So I want to encourage you to really help me with that avenue and really just reach out to the students because we care and we have a voice.
Well, you know where we are, so you can always get a hold of us. Did you meet your boyfriend at Miami-Dade College?
Very soon, actually.
We're enrolling him this year.
All right, there you go. Good for you.
Thank you.
Choice that you've made.
Thank you.
First choice, of course, was just
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So with that said, again, thank you for allowing me to be here and sharing part of my life with you.
Okay. Congratulations. Jessica, Dr. Padron has something for you, and maybe you want to say something.
Well, I will, but let me go over
You
there
go over there and say
to make it easy for Jessica. You know, when you make a decision to have students represent the institution, whether it's Harvard or any other thing that, you know, so many opportunities that we provide to students here, you really want to make sure you stand your best. And I think she described it very well, because being a non-traditional student with a non-traditional track, it took some thinking in terms of whether she was the right person to send to Harvard along with other students that have gone, you know, the traditional way, honors college, etc., etc. And when I reviewed her credentials and her track record, I knew that we had a leader in the making here. And I want you to know that in talking to the people at the Kennedy School at Harvard, they couldn't say more about, you know, what Jessica represented to them in the institute, not only among the Miami-Dade students, but the impact she had in other students from other institutions that were participating in this very important training. And I know that Jessica is going places, and I know that one day you're going to see her picture in the Miami Herald saying, I'm MDC, because she really cares. She has a passion for justice, and I know that she's going to do terrific. So it's a great pleasure for me to present her with this certificate for the Newman Civic Fellow Award that I know she will keep in a very special place. Here you go. Thank you.
Congratulations once again.
Thank you so much.
That's hard to talk.
Purpose, we only brought one presentation to you today because of the nature of the presentation, and it relates to one of the items in the board package, an action item, and it's something that I believe